Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. I do what I do for you, man. I'm having fun. I'm like a kid in the candy store. I got so much goodies, but I got to try to compartmentalize it and give it to you where it makes sense to you. But I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's go. Writism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. It's a message and story for life. I got you. You tuning in to receive the messages. I see the numbers are looking good. I appreciate that. So let's do what we do. Right thinking, mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka no, that's my mission. That's why I do what I do here, is to get you to do just that by any means necessary. So by hook or crook, I'm going to enlighten you to yourself. Let's go. That's what I do for you. Knowing thyself. Know thyself is the question I ask. Rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer to that, I can help you with that too. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not, it's simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know, I'm still skeptical about that, is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I've been in this book for the last few days and I've been just engulfed. And I'm just at page 7 from the start of this book. I'm just at page 7. I got so much information, it's unbelievable. So I'm trying to calm myself down and give you a good lesson. The lesson to this for right thinkers, let's talk about knowing thy true self. Twice, three. Okay, we're three and one. Just like in God's image, we're three and one also. Okay, so let me break that down for you. And I'm gonna use feeling and desires. It's another lesson. It's like a two-part lesson. A quick lesson to try and knowing your trying self. Then I'm gonna take you through what I call start out with feeling and desires. Good lesson. Let's go. I don't want to give you a heads up. I just want to get this party started. Let's start with watch this. And do I go here? Do I go there? See some? Ah. All right, let's go with this one. As we sleep, so with death. Death is but what? A prolonged sleep. I told you when you go to sleep, you practicing to die. So they understood death is a prolonged sleep. And what? A temporary retirement. What you mean temporary retirement? From the human world. Meaning this physical body in this world now, when it leaves, the spirit gonna have a choice. Reincarnate, go home. That's the choice of the spirit. No say so in the matter. That's what happens. Your job in this physical body, with your consciousness, you have to come to grips with knowing that self. Or in this case, knowing that true self. Let's go. Now, the temporary retirement is just because the body ceased to exist, but the spirit going, what happened? If at the moment of death, watch this, you are conscious, and this is somebody else's concept. Remember, I'm following a book that I read. I couldn't understand. He had some good points and good viewpoints, but he wasn't Egyptian. He did have Egyptian knowledge, but I ain't got a problem with that. But he did have knowledge, so let's work with that. What he says is what I'll be trying to teach you. When you are conscious of your feelings of I-ness or selfness, you will what? At the same time, be what conscious that the long sleep of death will not affect the continuity of what? Or your identity. And more than your nightly sleep efforts, you will feel that through the unknown future, you are going to continue. The spirit don't die. Only the body wears out. Even as you have what? Continued today on a day to day after through a life that has just ended. If this life wear out, I didn't get enlightened, I'm going to do it again. If I get what I need to do in this life, I get to go home. This self, watch this you, which as conscious throughout your present life right now, is the same self, what? That the same you that was seemingly conscious on what? Continuing day after day through each of your former lives. You did the same thing in prior life. That's the concept. Although, watch this, your long past is a mystery to you. Yeah. Your previous lives on earth are no greater wonder, watch this, than this present life right now. Other one don't mean nothing. Every morning, watch this, there is what? A new mystery coming back to you, back to your sleeping body, from which you do what? You do not know where you getting it into, or by the way, you do not know how, and again, becoming conscious of what this world when at birth. You born into the world, you're not conscious. And watch this. And death at time, watch this. But this has occurred what so often, has long been so natural to you that it doesn't seem to be a mystery no more. It's common. It's a commonplace occurrence. Oh, I love this. All right, here you go. I'm in my world. I'm in the zone right now, so work with me. Yet it is what? Virtually no different, again, from the procedure that you are going through when at the beginning of each, they call it re-existence. Okay, he didn't call it reincarnated, he called it re-existence, and I understand. And they didn't call the afterlife, they called it prominence. Again, understand the terminology. You enter what? A new body. Now, who is you? The spirit, the conscious spirit. Why? Because the spirit is not conscious. When it gets into the individual has the consciousness. That's what he gave us, free will. That's the concept. I hope you understand that. But you go into a new body that has been what? Formed for you by who? Nature. Trained and made ready by your parents or guardians as your new residence in the new world. A new mask, a new personality. And right quick, a personality is what? The persona, the mask through which the actor, which we are. The world is a play. Be the star in your world. I told you that. In your life, you should be the star, not the role player. Okay? But to be a personality, the human body must be what? Made awake by what? The presence of the doer in it. They're calling the spirit the doer. Okay? You got to. I'm going to break it down. Let's go. Now, in the ever changing drama of life, the doer, here we go, takes on and wears personalities conceptually. And watch it through it, what? Acts and speaks as it what? Plays its part. We call life, the game of life, whatever you want to call it, but they tell you their way. As a personality, watch this. The doer, you think what? Of itself as what? The personality. Again, that's the ego personality. That's the first thought. The I is the ego. You're going to have that. That's fine. He's teaching you how to control it. Why? Because it's something else. That's why. That's the lower you. You want to get to the higher you. That's what they presented. You are Egypt. Lower Egypt, Upper Egypt. You want to go to Upper Egypt. Moving on. This is the what? The mask. The masquerade thinks. Watch this. And this is the masquerader thinks of itself as what? As part of that play, and is what? Forgetful of what is true self, as the consciousness, immortal self in the mask. In human form, we don't know that we God. We think we're human. Again, that's we try to explain to you. My right thing is you should know we are gods in the flesh. Don't get caught up in that. I'm human. I'm just human. That nonsense. That's wrong thinking. Simple. All right. Moving on. I got some time here. It is necessary to what? Understand about resistance, aka reincarnation, and destiny. Else it is what? Impossible to account for the difference in human nature and the character yourself. to assert that the inequalities of birth and station of wealth, poverty, health, sickness results from what? From accident or chance is an affront to what? Law of justice. You get what you deserve. Moreover, watch this. To attribute intelligence, genius, inventiveness, gifts, faculties, powers, virtue, or ignorance, ineptitude, weakness, sloth, vice, and the greatness of what? Smallness of the character in these. Whichever one you choose, there you go. That's again, my eye. Now, then coming from a physical hereditary, watch this, opposed to sound sense and reason, hereditary has to do with what? The body. But character is made by what? One's thinking. Law and justice do rule this world of birth and death. It's the physical world. Some things you have to abide by. That's the law. Else it could what? Not continue on its course, and law and justice prevail in human affairs. This is a bunch of fluff. I don't deal with that. Let's move down here to the next level. A day in the life, a day and a lifetime, what are essentially the same thing. Okay, they are recurring periods of continuous existence in which the doer, you, works out his destiny and balances it in life. Is human accounts with what? Life, night, and death. Two are very much alike. Why? When you slip away and let your body rest and sleep, I told you, that's what death is pretty much like. You go through what? An experience that's very similar to that which you go through when what? You leave the body, aka death. That good sleep. It just keep going. I tell people, the person who sleep behind the wheel, you doing 70, 80 miles an hour. You go sleep. When you get conscious, you ain't in this world. You wake up, you gonna wake up dead. Okay, that's the concept. I keep saying that. I always thought that, so I'm just playing out what my ideas was even prevalent before I got enlightened. I still had the concept of, my man, if you go sleep at that wheel, next thing when you wake up, you ain't gonna be here. You gonna be in Kansas. All right, here we go. Where I'm at down here. So night and death, they're pretty much the same thing. Your nightly dreams, watch this, moreover, are to what? Be compared with what? The afterlife states through what? Which you regularly pass. This phase of life. Both, watch this, both are phases, subjective activity of the doer, which is you. In both, you what? You live over your waking thoughts and actions. Watch this. Your senses. This is the five senses of the body, physical body. You hear the word senses, that means you're dealing with the physical body. And watch this. The senses still functioning. Again, when the body goes at rest, subconscious makes sure the heart pumps blood throughout the body, everything is functioning. Okay, so but you ain't conscious of none of that. That's why the subconscious runs the body. That's what they're telling you. Watch this. Now, in the nightly period of deep sleep, here we go, where what? The senses no longer have any function. Why? You don't need them. You pretty much leave the body. Astral planet. You are all spiritual and mental concepts. Now, don't need the physical body. I'm trying to get you to understand that. What's inside you is a whole other thing. The state, watch this, the state of forgetfulness in which what? There is no memory of anything. That good sleep, you go there, you there, but you don't remember none of it. Conceptually, watch this, and watch this. It corresponds to what? The blank period in which you wait on the threshold of the physical world with until the moment you what? Reconnect with your senses, meaning come back into the body. In death, that means a new body of flesh, the infant body. Okay, child. Ooh, that has been what fashioned for you. Again, when the death of this body goes, the spirit got to go and kill another body. Moving on. I'll try you got that. Where we at now? Where we at? I want to get over here so bad. I'm dying to get to this. Now, when you commence of a new life, meaning the rebirth, that means you've been reincarnated. You didn't go home as in the haze. Your consciousness is in the haze. You feel, watch this, that you are a distinct and definite something. I am somebody. This feeling of I-ness or selfness is what probably the only, listen, real thing of which you are conscious for a considerable time. When you come to the world, all you know is I, me, that's the first 7 years you program to just think on the terms, and that's fine. That's normal, that's natural. Now, all else is what? Is mystery. For a while, you are bewildered, perhaps even distressed by your what? Strange new body and unfamiliar surroundings. Okay, that's normal. But as you learn how to what operate your body, starting to grow into it now. Watch this. Now, the you inside the body is growing. From infancy is growing. But you is still inside the body. You only can grow spiritually and mentally in concepts in the physical world. That's what I mean. Raise your conscious level. The physical body and inside, the doer. Watch this. Now, you are trained, watch this, by other human beings, again, programmed to what? Feel that your body is yourself. This is me. Of me. Yeah, again, everybody beats their chest and proclaim me. You are made to feel that you are the body. Now, accordingly, as you come, what? More and more under what? Control, becoming conscious of your body's senses. Now, you become less and less what? Conscious that you are something distinct from the body that you occupy. And as you grow out of the childhood to adulthood, you will what? Lose touch with particularly everything that is what? Not perceptible to the senses. Things that you don't need, you gravitate away from it. Or you conceivably, in terms of the senses, you will be mentally imprisoned. If you remain ignorant, you will remain prisoner in the physical world because only on you're conscious only of what? Phenomena of illusions. You're caught in the matrix. It got you. You're in the system. Under these conditions, you are necessarily a lifelong mystery to what? Yourself. Hence, don't know yourself. Well, I'm liking this. Y'all seen the like last lesson I gave out this. I'm liking this level because this is the good stuff here. This is, and I'm having flashbacks, but it's all good stuff. Where you at? Now, a greater mystery is what? Your real self. Mhm. That greater self, which is not in your body, not in or of this world of birth and death. Why? But which consciously knows is immortal and in all pervading realms of prominence. Your higher self knows who it is. And, excuse me, in the realm of prominence is what? A presence with you through what? All your lifetimes. I'll be with you to the end of time. The spirit don't go nowhere until what? You take it home. Through all your interludes of sleep and death cycles, man's lifelong search for what? Something that will satisfy him is in reality what? The quest for his real self, God. We look for God everywhere, except in us. And he made this little quick joke. God wanted to know, where can I hide from man? Bottom of the ocean? Nah, he'll go there. Hop the mountain? Nah, he'll go there too. I expect he'd probably go there too. But how about we just put him right here in the center of his heart? He'll look everywhere but there. And for those who wise enough to know that is there, those are the ones who be rewarded with knowledge of self. Let's go. I'm trying to get that concept. I'm gonna drive that home to you. Where we at now? Wait a minute. Okay. Now, the identity. First of all, you were looking for your real self, but you're searching all the wrong places. The identity, the selfness, watch this, and the I-ness, which each one of us is dimly conscious of. Why? Because it's something you just got to figure it out. And here you go, feels and desires to know. The heart feels. The conscious is where the desires come from. And that's what's going to make you do. We're going to go into that next. I'm about to take you to the lesson right now. Here we go. Feels and desires to know what is true self. Hence, the real self is to be identified as who? Self-knowledge. I talk about self-knowledge is the best knowledge. Scholarly knowledge, biblical knowledge, oh, that's fine. Self-knowledge is the best knowledge. They tell you that. The real, watch this, self-knowledge. Now, the real through what? Unrecognized goal of human seeking is what? Is the prominence, the perfection, the fulfillment, which is looked for but never found in human relations and efforts. Why? It's an illusion in this physical world. Nothing here will give you those things. Everything that you need is inside you. You just have to realize that. My goal is to wake you up to that concept for yourself. Further, watch this. The real self is the what? Ever present counselor. Amen. The hidden one. He's always there. He's the witness. He's the eye that sees all. And watch this. The judge that what? Speaks where? In the heart at judgment day. And it's spelled as your conscious. Conscience. Again, the heart conscious. And what? Duty as rightness and reason as law and justice. Without which, watch this, man would be little more than an animal. Meaning, if you don't raise your conscious level past the third degree, you're just like a beast of the world. So you need to raise your conscious level. They made the Sphinx to implement that. And the original monument was man is on a beastly nature. He has to raise his consciousness to become godlike. Long time ago. Excuse me. Long time. Now, there is such a self. Who is this self? Again, it is, there you go, the truest self. Let me get into the lesson. How are we getting over here to my land? In this book, the so-called, it's so-called why? It is the one indivisible unit of what? An individual trinity. God, Amen, Ra, Ptah, Seer, Seen, oh man, Sight, Trinity. The three, the trillion. I get excited. Let's get to the lesson. Yeah, I'm right where I need to be now. Now, this is where I need to be. Why? Because the Trinity of the knower part, in this book, it tells you about the knower, the thinker part, and the doer part. The doer part is the ego you, which you identify with. You need to raise and become what? The thinker, and then, let me skip the thinker, yeah, and then the knower. The knower is Amun. That's why I just gave the last lesson about consciousness, the states of consciousness. He's doing it his way. That's why I know it works. Why? Because he presenting it the way I learned a long time ago. Didn't understand it. But now I'm back. I fully understand everything he's saying. Hope y'all getting the understanding too. I'm trying to do that. Get you understand what I understand. Let's go. That way you can use it. It makes sense to you. Where we at? Now, the three parts. And only a portion of the doer part, which is you, can what? Enter the animal body, which is the physical form, and make that body human. The spirit, that's what's in you. The doer. That embodied part is what is here termed what? The doer in the body. Boy, boy, boy. In each human being, the embodied doer, which is the spirit in the body, is an inseparable part of its own true and self, which is what? A distinct unit amongst other true and self. The thinker, the knower parts of each true and self are in eternal. That's the spiritual realm. That's the astral plane, and the realms of what? Prominence. We call the dual afterlife. He called the prominence. Again, I ain't got a problem with that. Which what? Which pervades this our human world of what? Birth and death, and time and space. He's on point again. Now the doer in the body is controlled by what? The senses of the body. Therefore, it is not able to what? To be conscious of the reality of the ever-present thinker and the knower parts of itself, the true self. The ego is running the show. He don't say that, but that's what's happening. Okay? It misses the mark. What? It misses them, the objects of what? The senses. Blind it. The coils of flesh holds it. When you're in the body, it does not see beyond what? The objective forms. It fears to free itself from the fleshly coils and stand alone. Be your best self, stand alone, take responsibility. You have to do that for yourself. And watch this. When the embodied doer proves itself, here you go, willing and ready to dispel the glamour of the sense illusions, the physical world becoming spiritual. Now it's the thinker and the knower are always what? Ready to give it light on the way to where? Self-knowledge, spiritual enlightenment. But the embodied doer in search for the thinker and the knower in himself looks what? Abroad. Again, boy, I'm freaking out. I keep telling you, if you're looking for God in all the wrong places, you're never going to find him. A lot of us doing just that. I'm trying to help you look inside yourself. Identify, or the real self has always what? Been a mystery to who? The thinking human beings in every civilization. Why? Because if you're ignorant, you don't know. Sorry. Plato. Gotta get him in here right quick. Why? Because probably the most illustrious and representative of the philosophies. They say he created the word philosophy or whatever. Okay, of Greece, used as a what? Precept to his what? Followers in his school of philosophy. Again, the academy of what? Know thyself. That's the be name of my school. And I'm not trying to bite off of Plato, but that's what I want you to know. You come here to do, and he got that from all the temples out of Egypt. Why? Because on the door it says, man, know thyself before you enter any temple. That's a mental orgasm. That felt good. Now, when the embodied doer proves itself, but watch this. But now the embodied doer is in search of what? The thinker and the knower. Looks, okay, I did that. Did that too. Okay, now, I'm on down here. Sorry about that. Now, you got Gnosis, what? From his writings, it would appear that he had what? An understanding of the real self. Gnosis, Gnostic mean to know. Okay? Although none of the words that he used has been rendered into English as anything more adequate than what? The soul. That was his concept of the spirit. Okay? Plato used a method of what? Inquiry concerning the finding of the real self. There is great art in what? The exploiting of his characters and producing his dramas effects, dramatic to producing his dramatic effects. His method of what? Dialectic is simple and profound. Wow. The mental lazy reader who would rather be what? Told, entertained than learn for themselves will mostly likely think Plato tedious. Obviously, watch this. His dialect method was to what? Train the mind to be able to what? Follow a course of rational reasoning and be not forgetful of the questions and answers in the dialogue. Else one would be what? Unable to judge the consciences, judge the conclusions reached in their arguments. Surely Plato did not intend to what? Present the learner with a mass of knowledge. It is more likely that he intended to what? Discipline the mind and thinking so that one's own thinking he would be enlightened and led to what? Knowledge of himself, the subject, you. This is the Socratic method, is a dialectical system of intellect. And that's what we need to have. Intelligent questions and answers, which if followed will definitely help one to what? Learn how to what? Think, right? And in training the mind to think right, or clearly, Plato has what? Done more perhaps than any other teacher, but no writings have come perhaps than any other, no, down to us, no writings have come down to us which he tells what thinking is, or what the mind is, or what the real self is, or the way to knowledge of it. One must look further and for themselves. That's the end of that lesson. I got more. Oh, I'll be back. This is just starting to get good.